guys like the amount of camouflage I've got on today? Don't know which one to go with. I got Sika, I got Adidas, I got black multicam, I got black multicam hat. Let's figure out what we need here. Just kidding, but anyway, we're here at the Baku Center here in Weber County, Ogden, Utah. But thought I'd come down here, build a sight tape for this new bow that I just finished. If you guys want to check out the build, you can check it out on TC-CustomZ-Archery YouTube page. Just got finished with it. It's actually not posted yet, but it'll be posted by the time we get to this. But I thought I'd go through probably a shorter version of a step-by-step of how I am going to be building a sight tape. If you guys have any questions on it after we kind of go through this, feel free to DM me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I can answer any questions for you. But let's go ahead and get started. Got the PSC Fortis here, 33. Don't tell anybody, but it's actually 32 and 3/8 axle to axle. It's not actually a 33 because I actually ordered custom strings, which is going to help me stay within the 10% that a manufacturer usually recommends or says is within safe operating, I guess you could say. I'm not even exactly sure what to say, but they give you a plus or minus 10% on the limb deflection percentage. That way you're not overdoing it. If you were to have somebody accidentally make you the wrong strings or something, I did have that happen on a Matthews previously, and it ended up making it a 100-pound bow. Don't ask me how I figured that out after I put the strings on, but he read the measurements incorrect when he sent them to me, but it's a different story for another time. PSC Fortis, Phantom strings, haunt the woods. Got the EC2 cam, super smooth, but I wanted a little bit more speed out of it without having to go to a bigger set of limbs. So what I did is I looked up the manufacturer information, found out that there's a 10% plus or minus on limb deflection. And so I found that the measurement that I had, or the stock measurement, if you were to take off 3/8 inch from the string and cable set, that it would keep you within that safe operating like percentage or whatever you want to call it. So I ordered those, got that in. Currently, or I was set at 70.2 pounds previously on the stock strings. The stock strings were kind of on their way out anyway, being shot so much. Ordered these custom strings from Phantom, shorter, currently sitting at 73.8 pounds. It bumped that speed up quite a bit, which is awesome. It gave me about 12 feet per second more. But now we're just here, got the stock tape from previous. We're going to set up two different tapes actually today. We're going to set up these VAP TKOs with a 50 grain glue-in point, 3 fletch. Currently just running a 3 fletch helical on that one. Also, I guess they'll all be for 3D anyway, with some heat vanes, and then similarly, more of a hunting weight arrow as well. We're going to build a tape for this 50 grain insert, VAP SS 300 spines. Current weight is 460-ish. I'll double check and I'll put it down in the bottom here, corrected. But yeah, let's go zero them in a little bit. I did a little bit at home, zeroing it in after I did the tune and timing and everything on here. What was sweet is I didn't actually have to move much. I had to just time it, and then I was hitting up hair high. Went and double checked paper tune, and I was at hair high again. Went and reset the zero, and currently I'm just shooting money bullet hole. So let's go shoot them in and check them out. So Go Strings P2 set, no wax, no issues, no problems. More money, more problems, right? So let's go ahead and check it out. 20 in, just making sure that we've got everything dialed. At 20, that's one of the most important things to do, is to make sure your 20 is dialed, because it's so important. Because if you're off 0.003, that's going to throw everything off when you input the data into the sight tape computer programming. And I'll go into a little more depth of the company I use. I use Precision Archery Cut programming. Tristan, badass dude, does a lot of freaking good for the archery community, sight tape wise, ballistics wise, all kinds of stuff, man. So let's go ahead and I'll finish this up, and I'll we'll take you down and go check everything out. Okay, felt extremely good on all three of those breaks. Let's go down and check it out. So I know the camera's a little bit zoomed in, but here's our 3 shots, aiming for bottom right. Might be a tad bit low, but I am shooting at a little bit of an angle as well. So we may be just a little bit low. Let's see, about a 6-degree angle. At home, flat ground, 20 yards, I was hitting inside of an orange dot the size of a dime, 2 out of 3 shots or so. We're gonna take this and run with it, and we'll go to the next step, and I'll show you kind of what we do from here. Let's go ahead and pull these, and we'll move to the next step of the range. Okay, for the next step, I have a pre-printed tape from the last set of strings that I had on there for the hunting arrow setup that I showed you earlier with the SS's. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna use that. I moved that tape to match my 20 for both my target arrows, which are a weight difference of a 340 grain arrow, versus these SS's, which are like a 460 grain arrow. At 20, it's almost cutting hairs on the variability of the 20. So we're gonna shoot these anyway, just to kind of double check and make sure my data at home was pretty close by zeroing it at 20. We're gonna shoot about 3 or 4 of these just to make sure, and then from there we'll make some adjustments if we have to for the 20. But my pre-printed tape, move the tape up to 20, and then after that, when we move over to the other section, we're gonna use that pre-printed tape to kind of get us close, so we're not shooting into the dirt, because we're gonna go straight from 20. We may go 60, and we may go straight to 100, just to cut the time in half for 1, the video here, but 2, building 2 tapes in one setting or 1 session of shooting. That way we're not wasting time. I've got a brand new baby at home that's only a few days old, so I'm also trying to speed this up as much as possible. But I knew with this weather on December, whatever it is, it's going to be hard to find another good weather day like this to be able to spend a little bit of time to go a little bit in depth of how I build the tape. So we'll go ahead and we'll shoot these next few arrows and get this zeroed in. Okay, let's go check these out and see what we got for a 0 difference from a 340-ish arrow. I think I should have weighed these before. Like I said, I'll put the information a little bit lower in text, but it looks like we're hitting about the same as our target arrows that I had mentioned earlier. Just a hair low at that 6-degree angle. It is a little bit lower probably than our target arrows, but we'll get a little bit of a compensation on that sight tape and be able to split the difference at 20. Obviously in competition, it's a little more important to have a more precise center zero when you're shooting for freaking 12s and backsides on the 14s on the inserts. But we're gonna take this with the data that we got, because I'm just going to be shooting these exclusively, these target arrows anyway. But we'll take that right there and we'll run with that for now. But let's move on to the long range stuff. long range targets here. So what we're gonna do, like I said, I have a pre-printed tape from my last setup here on this bow. What we're gonna do is dial this too close to where it was. Like I said earlier, the bow is about 11 feet per second faster, and at a longer range like this, I've noticed the distance for that being about the speed difference from about 11 feet per second, I'd say 9 to 11 feet per second difference is going to be about 5 yards at 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 yards off and shoot this upper bag, this upper left bag. I actually don't even know where my finger's pointing. I think it's right here in the picture. Right here in the picture is going to be a 100-yard bag. The back of this concrete here at the Weber County archery range is about 100. The one on the right is 95. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna load one of these hunting arrows, hunting weight arrows, 460 grain arrow. We're gonna send it at 95 and we're gonna listen for an impact. If not, well, we'll see where it impacts and move our sight up and down from there. So we'll go from 20 right here, 0 to 20. Let's run this bad boy down to 95. Might actually be closer to 100, but let's go ahead and we'll take a couple shots. Hopefully we'll take a couple shots and they'll hit something. If not, let's restart. We'll check it out. So here we go. 100 yards, basically almost a blank sight tape. Let's go ahead and give it a rip. Ooh. As you heard and saw, we are just barely low left on that bag. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to have to add yardage. Like I had mentioned right before I shot, I thought we might need to add 2 or 3 yards. So let's add 3, we're going to add 4 yards. So we're going to go 98 on the dot. Rusty, come here. Hurry up. Sorry about that, but got to get the dogs out, especially with the new kid in the house. Got to get him something to do. So they're out here running around like psychos, chasing all the raccoons. So, okay, one more shot. Here we go. Let's see what we got for impact. Blank sight tape, 100 yards, hunting arrow. Woo! It's a great sound. I don't know if you can hear that from there, but that one I think was just a hair low, just barely low. So we're gonna add probably another 3 yards. We'll take one more and then we'll run up there real quick and check it out. Oh yeah, love that feeling. So let's check it out with the binos here. I think we're almost on the money. We're just barely in the bottom of the center dot there. We're gonna add 2 more yards. So let's go ahead and give her one more rip. Come here, Emil, Rusty. One more rip and we should be in the freaking bread basket there. And then I'll run you up there and we'll do a little time lapse and a current video up there of the final product. Oh, there we go. Okay, that one felt freaking money. Let's run up there. We'll go double check it anyway. And if we got to make any adjustments, we'll do that and come back down and restart. So let's go. Okay, so we're a little high, maybe a little bit left. This was the 4th arrow, obviously, where I corrected. So let's go ahead and we'll pull all these. I shot these 3 first. Let's go ahead and we'll go down and double check now that we've got some ammunition here. to go reshoot that, but bag's beat up. There's a lot of people that are freaking smoking this thing at 100 yards. As you can see, way down there is where we shoot from. So this place is awesome though. But yeah, let's go do it again. Go see what we get on a group again and make the proper adjustments with the sight. So let's give it a whirl. That one's a bad one. Let's do one more. That was a gray arrow, so I'm gonna run a black one. That way we know what arrow is doing what. By that, I mean, even if it's me making the mistake, I wanna know what the mistake ended up being that I did, if that makes sense. Or what the cost of it was. I think we're a little left still, so we're gonna bump this left. I didn't do that quite yet. Okay, so here we are. Like I said, I thought we were a little bit left. This was that bad gray arrow that I thought. This is the first arrow here, a little low. Made the last correction to move that sight from center down to impact point. We don't pull arrows up, we move the sight down. So we moved that down, got to here, felt left still, just barely corrected it. So we'll do one more and I bet you will be money. Okay, last correction. Like I said on the previous setup, I wanted to just shoot one arrow because I felt perfect, and mentally I told myself if I make a perfect shot and I do everything I'm supposed to, I know the arrow's gonna hit where it needs to go. So here we go. This is the result. Mental preparation is kind of the most important thing in my opinion. So prep yourself. You know you can hit center. You know your equipment's on. You know yourself. Get confident. Tell yourself that there's only one way to do this, and it's the right way. You know the steps you got to take to make a perfect shot. Just take your time. I mean, we live in a crazy world that shit's, you know, always being pushed. Everybody's always on a deadline. Archery's, oh shit, almost ate shiz right there. You know, archery's different. Take your time. Set it up once, do it once, don't worry about it again, or for a while at least, unless you change something. So take your time on shooting. You don't have to shoot 1,000 arrows a day. Shoot 10 good arrows a day, and build yourself a checklist or a shot process list, whatever you want to call it. Do that as perfect as you can every time. If you don't worry about it, move on to the next one. But that was kind of the culmination of that last setup right there, was the how that impacted and made its way to center, I guess, if you want to call it that. But so now I'm gonna do the same process. I may just end the video here because I'm gonna be doing almost the exact same thing with those yellow target style arrows. But if you have any questions, like I said, hit me up on Instagram. You can ask here in the comment section on YouTube. If you've got any recommendations for me, let me know. I'm gonna do a separate video on my precision archery cut sight tape building, I guess, if you want to call it that. Just because this video is probably already going to be a little bit on the longer side of what I like to watch, so I try to keep it to my attention span of a major ADHD kid. But appreciate you guys watching. Follow me on Instagram, TC-CustomZ-Archery, here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, blah blah blah. You guys know the deal. Like I said, if you got recommendations or anything too, I'm open to it. I'm definitely one person to not write anything off unless it's complete bullshit. But yeah, I'm open to everything. Let me know, see what I can improve on. I'm always trying to improve and help others out doing that. That's why I'm kind of doing this YouTube stuff, even though I feel like an idiot talking to my freaking phone. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Okay, we're walking down. I redid that sight tape, or moved the elevation tape, I guess you could call it, to compensate now to the target arrows. First shot broke a little bit right for sure. Next two, dead money. So at 100, I'll take it. Obviously, I can tighten that up a little bit if we need to, but for indoor, we're not really shooting much past about 70 something yards. And usually if it's outdoor, summer, whatever, I'm usually building sight tapes out to basically as far as you can shoot. But I'd say on average, if you're shooting a 70-pound bow, anywhere from 28 inches draw plus, I am usually able to build you a setup out to 125 plus, I would say, on the conservative end, just depending on your equipment and weight of arrow, obviously. But yeah, so now we'll bump into the next video. I guess I lied. I guess that's not really the end of the video on the last video I posted, but because I thought I'd show you guys a little bit of how I build the tape. So I'll do like a super brief how I build the tape. Now that I have the two marks, I'll show you on the bow basically what I'm writing down. I'll also show the screenshots. I usually send these to my wife just so I know I've got the measurements correct, or at least the numbers correct when I get home, just in case I forget. But my 20 is equal to 20, as it says on here, and then my 100 yard, so my proof shot, not just what I think, or not using a chrono, what it would be, but it is proof shot. My 100 yard is now my 90 on those target arrows. So I've gained 10 yards in elevation or distance on my elevation part of my tape. So now all we got to do is go back home, input these measurements with a caliper, and print them off with the correct information: weight of arrow, axle to axle, peep to sight, peep to arrow, all those things that you put in on the sight tape information. And then from there you print off a correct tape, and as long as you install it correctly, don't even have to think twice about it. You're gonna be dead money the rest of the season. So but yeah, so I'll kind of show you a little brief quick video on that real quick after this, and be ready to kill some foam the rest of the indoor season. So appreciate you guys following along though. But yeah, talk to you in a little bit. Okay, last two of the day. Let's see what we got. They felt freaking money, so both of them felt great. But let's go home, build a tape, get ready for the last night of 3D indoor tonight, and then from there we will go into the rest of the season. So, ooh yeah, money. On to the next. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm.